Welcome to Magic in the Mediterranean. This is Becky.
And Gavin.
And Walter.
We went to La Spezia.
And we went to see the beautiful Lurici's castle.
It's about a 30-minute drive from La Spezia. We looked around the town there.
It was a beautiful seaside town. They like tourists, they don't like traffic, so you had to park a mile away and walk into the city. It was not as long as I thought it would be. It wasn't a bad walk.
So basically the excursion itself was split down into about 2 hours of being able to have a wander through Lurici, and then about another 2 hours at Lurici's castle where you get to learn a bit about dinosaurs. The tour guide herself was a very bubbly character, very helpful. We had about a 30-minute bus ride on the way there. She took time out to talk about the local area, some of the previous inhabitants. For example, Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein, had spent some time there.
And Byron.
And Byron, yes.
And they have places there named after these people.
No, she was very bubbly, very happy. She
Yeah.
was as helpful as she could possibly be.
And the great thing about this excursion was that it was really laid back, nice, slow walking pace, and we really needed that because the day before we'd been out for 10, 11 hours in Rome, and it was really, really nice to have a very easy day. I'd recommend this for anyone, really. I mean, it was good for adults, it was good for the kids, there was some good interaction.
It was a good pace for the kids, definitely.
It was a good pace, but I think it's very specific as who it may apply to.
I
don't think it's really an adult tour. I think it's more geared toward children 7 and 10 or 12, something like that.
Seven and upwards, and that was purely because when we reached Lurici's castle and they spent some time talking about dinosaurs. That part of the tour really was more tailored to kids of a slightly older age. So like Walter said, 7 and upwards, and that was because of the type of information that they were giving them. Children younger than that wouldn't really be able to take that information in, would they?
They weren't paying attention, no.
And the weird thing was the castle only houses the dinosaurs. There's really not that much about the castle. They mainly, it's to talk about dinosaurs. It's a beautiful castle, but it's really not addressed during the tour. It's just you're there, you walk around, but you're actually just talking about dinosaurs.
I would like to emphasise that if you did want to learn a bit about the castle and the history behind it, by all means ask your tour guide. Ours was incredibly helpful. Any questions we had, she was able to answer. Fantastic.
Very knowledgeable. Yeah.
Very knowledgeable, definitely, yeah.
We got snacks as we got to the castle, which I thought was a really nice touch. We got loads of drinks, some small cookies and some cheesy bread. And that was really nice. We got a little bit of time to just sit and chill out.
It was a nice pace.
One thing, it's quite a climb up to the castle, and a couple of people did seem to be struggling, and people with a stroller had quite a hard time.
Yeah. You have to be very mobile, if not somewhat fit to make it. I mean, there's a lot of walking to the castle. There's a walking up the castle. It's a fairly strenuous tour, and I don't think they really stress that enough.
No, the Disney cast member was really good, and he waited for people.
Oh, yeah.
The guide took her time, but
what was really quite amazing was when we actually got to the castle and we climbed to the top of the castle and went outside. The views from there were really spectacular.
It was beautiful.
They were spectacular. Yeah. Nice.
You could see the harbour in Lurici.
You could see the Disney Magic Park in the harbour.
You could see as far over as La Spezia.
And one thing I would like to point out is that the excursion itself didn't follow the details that we were given. If I remember correctly, it said that we should have had about an hour of free time in Lurici. That was more like about 20 minutes.
Well, that was also because the family missed the boat and we had to wait on them.
We waited about 20 minutes for another family to join us.
Up our time there,
so what you're saying is normal circumstances, you should get that full hour?
I would think so, yeah.
I think so.
And we did stop at, so we went into a local bakery, got to try some of the locally baked bread. That was absolutely...
Yeah, there's some really cool little shops that you can look around and get some local produce.
Yeah, so I think if you have kids, 6 to 12, it'd be a good tour.
Yeah.
If you're
that
an
are
adult,
interested in dinosaurs.
I don't think it was that good of a tour. I think it's mainly geared toward kids, and I think it was kind of boring if you didn't have children. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But it was more the slow pace of the tour that was a real nice change from the last few days that we'd had leading up to that.
And compared to, say, if you went to Florence, which is quite a long way from the port, it was nice to go somewhere really close by.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful little town.
It was gorgeous,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very easy half-an-hour bus ride. And it would have been even easier on the way back if it wasn't for the fact that the bus driver had a small accident.
Yeah, if you hadn't have crashed into a car. Yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as it sounds.
No.
We're all fine. We're still standing. All our limbs are
Yeah,
intact.
That's
So.
it.
All good.
So this was Becky
Gavin,
Walter,
saying goodbye from Italy.
ciao.
ciao.